Hi there, my name is Mr. Pete, and I am reading Chapter 49, What Do You Want, Miggery Sow? Could it be that our characters are finally going to be in the same place for the first time in this entire book? Again, reader, we must go backward before we go forward. We must consider for a moment what had occurred with the rat and the serving girl and the princess down in the dungeon before Despereaux made his way to them. What happened was this. Rescuro led the P and Mig deep into the dungeon to a hidden chamber, and there he directed Mig to put the princess in chains. "Gaw," said Mig, "she's going to have a hard time learning her lessons if she's all chained up like that." "Do as I say," said Rescuro. "Maybe," said Mig, "before I lock her up, her and me could switch outfits. So we could start in already with her being me and me being a princess." "Oh, yes," said Rescuro, "certainly. A wonderful idea. Ms. Miggery, princess, take off your crown and give it to the serving girl." The P sighed and took off her crown and handed it to Mig, and Mig put it on, and it slid immediately right down her small head and came to rest, quite painfully, on her poor abused ears. "It's a biggish thing," she said, "and painful-like." "Well, well," said Rescuro. "How do I look?" Mig asked, smiling at him. "Ridiculous," he said. "Laughable." Mig stood blinking back tears. "You mean I don't look like a princess?" she said to the rat. "I mean," said Rescuro, "you will never look like a princess, no matter how big a crown you put on your tiny head. You look exactly like the fool you are, and always will be. Now make yourself useful and chain the princess up. Dress-up time is over." Mig sniffed and wiped at her eyes, and then bent to look at the pile of chains and locks on the floor. "And now, princess," he said, "I'm afraid that the time for your truth has arrived. I will now tell you what your future holds, as you consign me to darkness, so I consign you, too, to a life spent in this dungeon." Mig looked up. "Ain't she going upstairs to be a serving maid?" "No," said Rescuro. "Ain't I going to be a princess, then?" "No," said Rescuro, "but I want to be a princess." "No one," said Rescuro, "cares what you want." As you know, reader, Miggery Sow had heard this sentiment expressed many times in her short life, but now in the dungeon it hit her full force. The rat was right. No one cared what she wanted. No one had ever cared. And perhaps, worst of all, no one ever would care. "I want," cried Mig. "Shh," said the princess. "Shut up," said the rat. "I want," sobbed Mig. "I want. "What do you want, Mig?" the princess said softly. "Eh?" shouted Mig. "What do you want, Miggery Sow?" the princess shouted. "Don't ask her that," said Rescuro. "Shut up! Shut up!" But it was too late. The words had been said. The question at last had been asked. The world stopped spinning, and all of creation held its breath, hyperbole, waiting to hear what it was that Miggery Sow wanted. "I want," said Mig. "Yes?" shouted the P. "I want my ma!" cried Mig into the silent, waiting world. "I want my ma!" "Oh," said the princess. She held out her hand to Mig. Mig took hold of it. "I want my mother, too," said the princess softly, and she squeezed Meg's hand. "Stop it!" shouted Rescuro. "Chain her up! Chain her up!" "Gaw," said Mig, "I ain't going to do that. You can't make me do it. I got the knife, don't I?" She took the knife and held it up. "If you have any sense at all," said Rescuro, "and I heartily doubt that you do, you will not use that instrument on me. Without me, you will never find your way out of the dungeon, and you will starve to death here, or worse." "Gaw," said Mig, "then lead us out now, or I will chop you up into little rat bits." "No," said Rescuro, "the princess shall stay here in the darkness, and you, Mig, will stay with her." "But I want to go upstairs," said Mig. "I'm afraid that we are stuck here, Mig," shouted the princess, "unless the rat has a change of heart and decides to lead us out. There will be no changes of heart, said Rescuro. None. Goal, said Meg. She lowered the knife. And so the rat and the princess and the serving girl sat together in the dungeon. As outside the castle, the sun rose and moved through the sky and sank to the earth again, and night fell. They sat together until the candle had burned out and another one had to be lit. They sat together in the dungeon. They sat and sat. And reader, truthfully, they might be sitting there still if a mouse had not arrived. Chapter 50, in which the princess says his name. Whew. Okay, so it's quite the conundrum. Miggery's not going to help Rescuro, but Rescuro's the only one that can lead them out. So they can't kill Rescuro, and he isn't getting his way either. So he kind of is getting his way because they can't go anywhere. All right, make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and make sure you leave a comment. Click that bell. But the comments, what I really love. I love the community that we're building together. Thank you so much for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. Have an amazing day, and I will see you on the next page. Peace.